Hi, everybody. I didn't realize that the thing in front was still live. Hold on one second. Not professional, I know. Okay, how is everybody today? I'm so excited just to be able to talk live with you guys. We're going to be talking watts today. So, hold on. Alexa, down. Alexa, turn it down. I always listen to the 90s radio on Amazon Prime, or Alexa plays it or whatever. Sorry, it's a little loud. Let me know if you guys can't hear me or if you can hear me. If you're watching the replay, put replay. Thank you guys for being here. I'm just going to get into it and start chatting with you. Hi, K-Rocks. If I don't see, because the words are so little, if I don't see you, I just want to say I'll read back what you guys write. But I'm really excited you're here, K-Rocks. I don't know if you're interested in the Watts case, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome. This is my kitchen. Sorry, I haven't done that many lives, so I still get a little bit nervous every time. So bear with me. Okay, but we're going to be talking about a lot about NK today. I had put out a short on basically my theory on her pinging in Frederick that morning. Okay, so her house is about what they say 25 minutes from the Watts house. But in heavy traffic, that could take a while. Like if you were going to work, let's just say going past the Watts house, you are, if it's traffic, it's going to be like 40, 50 minutes, maybe an hour to get to work all the way that she had to go, And as she was driving to work that morning on I-25, which is the major interstate in the Colorado, the cell phone tower pinged in the city of Frederick on the east side of I-25, which is our major interstate. And Shanann's house is actually not in the city limits of Frederick, or it's technically, but it's across the interstate from Frederick. So it pinged on a tower in Frederick. Yes, it was close to Shanann Watts' house and Chris Watts' house. So it's kind of like a big red flag there. But if she drove down that main road to get to work that day, about that time that she said she would have pinged on that cell phone tower anyways. So that's one of those things that I think about, that everyone says, oh, this is why she's totally guilty. And I'm not saying she's not guilty either way. It's just some of the things that go around in my head about the Watts case that I just want to talk about it. The more you talk about your theories and what you think happened, I think the closer that we can all kind of get to the truth of the matter, or closer to what really happened, because nobody's going to know 100% of exactly what happened. Except for maybe is like some of the CBI investigators and FBI and things like that. I think maybe they know a little bit more than we'll ever know. So, okay, a few things about Ninke. I know she seems, okay, let's just put it out there. She kind of, the way that she seems in the case is she seems selfish, homewrecker, like she tries to steal everybody's man. There's things about where she goes after married men a lot, all that stuff. That could all be true and her still not know anything about, the murders, or like that doesn't necessarily make her guilty, no matter the dumb crap she said in interviews, how, I'm trying to be nice about it, but how she wasn't really worried about Shanann's whereabouts or the kids as much as she should have been. Let's just face it. Let's see. What was the other thing? Also, if Chris, okay, so everybody says he's supposed to be like a genius, right? Like have like a super high IQ. Then why is the storyline that he's been manipulated by Nicole, who, Yes, she's college educated. She's a geologist. She knows a lot about this and that. But wouldn't he be the more manipulative one than her, maybe? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a thought that I'm thinking through. Like, she also, and I didn't see this video, but I heard that she posted a video originally on YouTube about bipolar. I'm not saying that she has that or nothing bad about bipolar whatsoever. I actually have bipolar. So I can kind of relate to the stress in a situation will make you say like possibly not the right thing at the right time. Your mind could be swirling and preoccupied with yourself, and it makes it seem like you're really being selfish, but really your mind's someplace else. You know what I mean? Like, traditional mental illness is very difficult for, I'd say, everyone who has it. So how is the story, like the theme behind the story, this genius guy is manipulated by this poor 20-something who's supposed to know everything about life and is super manipulative? I feel like maybe she was a little bit more of the more vulnerable one. And you have to remember, she has the possible mental illness, stress. She's working a full-time job. She's also kind of running away from a past relationship where it was supposed to be abusive. She had to basically disappear from this guy because it wasn't I don't know everything behind it, but it wasn't a good situation to be in. So she was off Facebook, YouTube, everything after that. So you can tell she's not the one who has all of her shit together. You know, she's still going through stuff. She's obviously afraid of this person who had manipulated her before. And then Chris Watts comes in at a vulnerable time. Do you guys think it is possible that maybe he was the one who manipulated her? Sure, she could have said, oh, all these, like, who knows? She could have been like, God, I hate kids. I really wish you didn't have kids. Like, she could have said that the whole time. Your wife's a bee, and da-da-da, and she doesn't deserve you. And that doesn't mean that she is a murderer. She knows about anything. That just means she is being selfish bee. So, like, there's a lot of things about this case. I know you guys obviously know about the case if you're here, but there's a lot of things about this case that don't make sense when you stand back and look at it. Like, like Chris, he's supposed to be this perfect dad, and he's just the nicest guy ever, and nobody ever suspected anything from poor Chris. But if everyone thought that he was such a great guy, doesn't that kind of say that he is very manipulative and he's got it down to a science where everybody is, the mask is on and everybody thinks that you're this character of great dad. Da, 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 da. Who knows? All along, he could have been at work. He could have snuck off and been with a girl. He could have said he was shopping for the kids and went. Like, we don't know his character this whole time. We just know that he convinced everyone of who he was this whole time. You know what I mean? It's just those thoughts that I think about. Like, if nobody says anything bad about you, that's a bad thing. You know, like, I have to say, people say bad things about me, but it's mostly like annoying. I do get like loops where I start thinking about things in my head so much that it makes me sound like I'm selfish. Like, I'm not perfect either, but when somebody doesn't have anything bad said about them, it's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Besides none. Let's see. What else was the other thing? Manipulating it. Oh, another thing about the crystals. Okay, so there's a theory that she's like a witch and she's into like Wiccan and crystals and like all this magical dark stuff, Chris said. But isn't it possible the picture where she's holding the big crystal up like this and like, I think it's Peru. But anyways, she's holding up to the sun. What if she's just a weird hippie who just found that crystal there, or like wanted to lift it up, just like 'cause she likes crystals, or it's not evil or dark for some people to just be like, I'm charging my crystal in the sun. I put this crystal next to this crystal to charge it. And like, I would say that's more of from people I've known, that's more of like a hippie thing than a evil, dark person thing. Do you know what I mean? And so the point I'm trying to make is that this whole case, if you just slightly switch your perspective and start going down the thought pattern, or the path that your thoughts are going down, you kind of go down a different road. Like, nobody says you have to like Nikki. I probably wouldn't be friends with her. But for a second, think about if she was the victim, like how would she have thought? Or if she was, this abused woman, what would she have been thinking about? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. Now, I will tell you, I really overall I don't know if she's involved in the case. It could be that she is, could be that she isn't. I swear, in the beginning, when I heard all about this case, I was like, oh God, she is the worst. She definitely was, like, she could have been at the house. I saw the videos where it looks like a girl that's like walking down the driveway with a purse. I was like, oh my God, there's proof. But then my mind goes to, dude, if there was proof, she would be in jail. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there are things that haven't been released about the case that we don't know. So it's really hard. I don't think there's always conspiracies in the background everywhere. You know what I mean? Because people conspire to get the best for themselves or their group, or, but I don't think that there was a big government conspiracy through the Masons or through Anadarko or through any of that trying to get free Nicole from getting charged with murder. I don't think that's quite the case. There would have to be a lot of people in on this that just let this slide. Like Frederick Police, CBI, FBI, the district attorney, and all of the DA, all of the judges here are voted in. So these people are vetted to see how ethical they are, things like that. You don't usually get up to DA of Weld County, which is the biggest county in Colorado. You don't get there without absolutely earning it. So that's something to think about too. Like, are they stupid? Were they manipulated? Or is it just not the evidence there? Maybe right away they seem to know or think that she wasn't involved. So I have a feeling they know something that we don't know, like an alibi, or like she couldn't have been there because she had slight alibi here and her phone pinged here, and so they just kind of didn't worry about her, but if you really think about this case, it boils down to, what was Chris getting out of it? What was she getting out of it? A married guy. Like, she had just left a relationship. Was she so desperate to get in with a guy who's already so tangled up and so, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it was just him being selfish, not thinking about his children. Any good parent puts their children first, absolutely, every time. And he wasn't doing that. He wasn't thinking about anything but downstairs, let's just say it. I do know one of the people that accused him of being, or is basically was a supposed mistress. That person, from what I know, is not a liar. They have had a lot of things that they've gone through, but that's not some attention that they would ever seek out. Like, that is not an attention-seeking person, That is a person with a good heart who loves their children, and I don't know. I believe her. I think he was cheating here and there, all over. I think he was probably on several dating apps. It could have been like a different picture. It could have been I don't know. I don't know all the websites, the hookup sites or whatever. But he obviously was smart enough to know how to hide the photos, the nudes in, and the text messages through this app. It was like a secret calculator app or something. He obviously knew how to do crap like that. People had always said, oh, well, they assume Nikki taught him how to do all this stuff. But wait. Back up to the thought of, how is she this mastermind? You know what I mean? Like, she's a geologist. That is a great job. It's not an astrophysicist. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something where those people are known to be the tippity top of the intellectual scale. Do you know what I mean? There's so many points that are contradicting in the story. Okay, he supposedly didn't care that he was going to get caught going out to dinner with Nikki at the Red Dog, no, Lazy Dog. He forgot, or he wasn't worried about getting caught, so he used his actual credit card. Like, that's the what everyone just assumed behind it. But what if he was doing that? He knew what was going on. She was just going out to dinner with him. Do you know what I mean? Because if she was the mastermind, why the hell would she place herself with him in public at a place that has cameras, all this stuff, right before the murders? Like a day, just over a day in between the murders. Like, that would have to be, for someone who's so smart and so, like, that would have to be the stupidest thing in the world. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But let's see. Also, with all the text messages and everything that they have, why is it that there isn't, even on phone conversations, anything that they can blow up, there is no proof that she said that's what she wanted. You know, if she was, I don't know, they were stupid enough to talk a lot of like the texting about the battery thing. If they were stupid enough to do all this stuff, like, why would they do that? I guess. Sorry, I'm talking in circles. Also, they say that she knew, NK knew about Chris and Shanann in 2017, and that she had searched her name in 2017. But I researched that the police in Frederick had went ahead and said that was a typo. She had researched her in January of 2018 at the same time she had Googled Chris and started researching him too. Let's see. Oh, the phone call the night before. Again, would you be so stupid if you were the mastermind of this to be caught on the phone for God knows how long the night before, right before the murders being on there? Is it possible that they were just having the phone call? I mean, that could be why she says she has no recollection of anything that they talked about during that time, because she's embarrassed. I think a lot of her, or while she's trying to save face, or I think a lot of her responses in interviews goes back to how she gonna save face, how she gonna look like she wasn't this horrible monster that was convincing him to kill his family. You know, when something like this happens and Chris had everyone convinced that he was this wonderful guy, the first thing that everyone is gonna do is look, boom, what is that What's different that happened? What happened to Chris? It was her. So she must be the one who manipulated him. That he would have never done that without her. Why are we taking the blame away from Chris? He's a murderer. He's a psycho. He's a narcissist. He is selfish. He's always going to put himself first. And if you are capable of hurting your children, physically snuffing them out, you're a monster. Like you don't have, I guess you could say that you're a psychopath, like a neurodivergent in a bad way, I guess you would say, let's see what else. Sorry, I'm horrible with keeping on track. But yeah, what if that was just like a sex call that night? What if she was just embarrassed by a lot of stuff that she did and she scooted around things that she didn't want to be in public, People talk about her dad coming into that interview like she was guilty and she needed someone to come save her and make sure she didn't get drugged down in this case. Or could it be that he was worried about his daughter who had possible mental illness, that this is a huge stressful thing on someone, for all of a sudden somebody you even know to be murdered, let alone being in the interrogation and is it a possibility that he was just in there to, like, you see him put his hand over on her, you know what I mean? He kind of like pats her knee and like, to me, it looks like she's really uncomfortable, really nervous, like she probably hasn't slept, like her mind's running really fast. Maybe her sounding like she's guilty and stuff is just her being shit. And maybe that's being shit that day, feeling like shit, being stressed. I don't know. It's hard to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think on this one, maybe we should, maybe her dad coming was just, he wanted to protect his little girl that knew this was a time where she needed someone to be there for her. Let's see what else. Oh, another thing is that Chris was older than her by, what was it, like 6 years? I think she was like 27 or 28. You guys let me know, but I think she was around there. And I don't know about any of you. Some of you may not even be in 20s yet, but for me, I had the undiagnosed bipolar at that time, and my whole 20s was just a shit show, and that's what your 20s is where you're an adult and you're learning everything, and then you figure out like dating and social, and like, what if she was just a really dumb 28-year-old who made a really bad mistake? I don't know. It goes around in my head. All these thoughts about like what could have happened, what behind the scenes the conversations were between her and Chris. Is he trying to pick out little things to make her look guilty all along? Was his plan to kind of throw her under the bus a little bit, until he was so busted that he couldn't get out of it? He knew he was busted. I don't know. That's the best thing about the Watts case, I think, is there's so much left to be interpreted. There's so much that we don't know about the case. There's so many theories. Like I'm sure you guys too, because you're here, but you'll watch a case on TV and movies and videos, and you're convinced of one thing because you hear a creator say, oh, well, I know for a fact that he Googled her in 2017. Well, he didn't really, or she Googled her, Shanann, in 2017. She really didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's something you would only catch if you actually followed the case. Do you know what I mean? Let's see. What other things about the case? There's a fly. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yuck. Oh, I did for a second want to talk about this guy, Sean. Okay, so the guy that she was with before that she had mentioned to Charlotte in the texts was a guy named Sean. Evidently, it ended so bad with Sean that she moved, changed her phone, and cut off all social media. Like, she didn't post on Twitter. She didn't, like, nothing. I wonder what happened with this guy. I wonder what he said to her. I hope Ryan and Jim aren't the same person. Like, there hasn't been that many photos come up of Jim. That there was one group of photos where she's partying with Jim and her friends, and she's sitting on this guy's lap that looks a lot like Jim. I think that may be Ryan. Because they're definitely, it's frisky position, you know? I just wonder what happened to her before. How traumatized was she? Because how many times have you had to get off social media, move, change your phone number? Like, that says a lot. And that says a lot about what she's been through too. Let's see. Let me know if you guys have any information on this Ryan or the guy that she was running from that was abused. It could be that his name was not Ryan. Okay, this one too. If she was the mastermind of this whole thing, wouldn't she tell him not to be so fucking stupid? I mean, seriously, wouldn't she say, everyone has a Ring doorbell these days, you have to take them out the back where there possibly is less people? Like, don't go and do any interviews about your missing wife. Don't talk to anyone, get a lawyer right away. Like, all of these things to protect him would have protected her. And if she was behind it, like, why would you be so stupid? Like, she's not really benefiting solely in any way from the murders herself. Do you know what I mean? I can't think of any reason why she would want the wife and daughters necessarily to be killed at all. Even if she hated them, did not want them in his life, there's plenty of stepmoms that are just assholes that don't want anything to do with their stepkids. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make her a murderer. It just makes her an asshole. And I'm not vouching for anybody's ethics or morals or anything, but what if she wasn't that? What if she wasn't the person who thought of everything? You know, what if she wasn't the brains behind the scheme? You know, I just think about that all the time. Chris is obviously manipulated everyone, including Shanann's parents, for the whole time he knew them. Like, this guy was good. He manipulated Shanann into even dating him because he just sat there and was like, oh, I'll sit here for 3 hours and let you sleep on me. That doesn't make you an excellent person. That makes you a creeper. You know what I mean? Like, he just didn't want to move because he was just so awkward. And do you know what I mean? Like, I just see it in a red flag way versus he would do anything and go anywhere with her, and he'd jump up and do this and that for her. Like, there's a difference between wanting the best for your spouse and wanting to do stuff. Like, I love to bring my fiance drinks and food. Like, I just love to do that to show love, but I'm not, it's different when it's, they're doing it to seem perfect. They're doing it to be the perfect husband or the perfect, you know what I mean? Like, you should do it just because you authentically want to do it, as if it's not a chore, you know? But at the same time, she was kind of like, Chris, gotta get it, Chris, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Next time I do one of these, I absolutely want to do a live where you guys can jump on with me and just let me know what you think too. The next one, I'm not going to talk as much about Nikki. I just kind of wanted this to be something to think about, something to take you down a different perspective. May not be the right way, but maybe you will get a theory from hearing some of my theories that'll make more sense and take us to the truth, So let me know what you guys thought about the live. I truly appreciate you guys being here. As always, subscribe, like this video, share. I just want to take a second to thank you everyone for subscribing. I'm almost to 5,000 right now, and I'm incredibly grateful for everyone that has watched a video along the way or subscribed or liked anything. Thank you. This has been a blessing to me to just be able to, I have a little bit of a social anxiety. So just to be able to talk to people and get myself out there has been huge for me. And thank you for letting this be an outlet. I just really appreciate you guys. Bless you and take care of your kids and just have a great day. I know this weekend here in Colorado, it's looking pretty cold. Here, I'll turn it around real quick. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's very overcast, very cold. But I hope you guys have a great weather. You can get outside, have fun. Go on a picnic. I'm going to live vicariously through you guys. Tell me what you did this weekend. I have a lot of stuff to catch up on, and I'm an introvert. So I will be in my house this weekend. But you guys tell me all the fun stuff that you did, okay? I'm just excited to be able to share some of my opinions with you guys about the Watts case. Whether you thought I was right or not, tell me what you think. So thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend. Bye.